Welcome back to Everywaywoman. So on the topic of gentlemen, men are claiming that women aren't overlooking their imperfections. Cheryl, do you think that's true?
You know what? I think there's some thought that needs to go into it because, first of all, everybody has imperfections, but are these gentlemen aware of how important this particular thing is to another woman? And then by the same token, I know quite a few people who will, take that one little thing. It's like, oh, well, he's too, fill in the blank. And they'll use that as an excuse to run. In those situations, though, what I've observed is that they typically don't necessarily like the gentleman quite that much anyway. Mm-hmm. And so that one little thing, they can use that as an excuse to have an out.
Mm-hmm. I think it depends what their imperfections are, though. I can take the whole, I'm not perfect myself, the whole look thing. But when they can't pay their bill, I ain't going to pay them for you.
Right. That's true.
I'm just saying.
Well, exactly. I know a gentleman who, he expected the red carpet to be laid out for him. He wanted to be, met at the door with a drink. He wanted the whole Don Draper treatment, and yet this is a gentleman who had no job and wasn't bringing anything to the table.
Well, that's a lot of nerve.
It's like you don't get Mad Men treatment on an unemployment check.
Right. Now, are women harsher critics than men in this? Are we holding grudges?
I think it's about even.
Really?
I think it's a balance because women, we have these high standards, and I think men have high standards, and then we're not meeting somewhere in between.
Okay, I have a question. Has anyone here dated a guy who ever looked at you and said, "Do I look like I've gained weight?"
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
No.
Am I dating?
Really?
Am I
That belly and everything.
I dated
just fine. Okay.
Right,
I love
yeah.
you.
I dated a model for years because obviously, I was a model back in the day, and I can't tell you how many guys would come up to you. It's so funny when they look in the mirror and they're testing themselves out, and they're like, do you think I look fat? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the one
Really?
who asked these questions.
So men are picky too.
Yeah.
They have their own insecurities and their own
They
criticisms.
gossip.
Right.
I mean, they
And
nag.
they gossip. They just
Yeah.
do it on testosterone level, not estrogen.
But do you think that sometimes that we're thinking this guy might not be good enough, so the grass is greener on the other side, and I'm going to move on to this next guy because, I didn't like X, Y, and Z about him. That was my excuse. I mean, is the grass always greener for us?
The grass is greener where you water it.
Oh.
Yes, thank you.
Well, no, I think that, in a situation where you're just trying to decide between this one and that one, quite frankly, everyone is going to have their own set of baggage. It's just a matter of deciding, do you want this set or do you want that set?
Yeah.
But at what point are you settling then?
But
if you accept baggage.
Well, everybody comes with baggage.
Yeah.
It's determining, do they have the kind of baggage that you can live with? Or don't they?
Or can you fly first class and somebody valets their baggage so you don't have to deal with it?
Hey, that would be lovely.
I think that's why I'm still single.
Well, that's why you're still single?
Because I don't settle.
What's your expectation, Anna?
My expectation, just for you to, I have to admit now that, like, if I do start dating again, which I will, just in due time, but I want that perfect guy. Isn't it weird for me to say that? Because I'm here so against, like.
So you want Prince Charming?
You want a perfect guy?
I'm romantic.
Have you defined for yourself what perfect is?
Right.
Wow.
Did you write down the
that's
list?
not stalkerish, like always calling me.
Okay, obviously you don't want to creep.
Okay, right, yes. So no stalkers. Guys, no stalkers.
No, definitely not.
Well,
definitely
they
not.
say
because I'm busy all the time.
It's important for us to write down a list of what we want and really judge a man based on that list and not what we're thinking.
You know what? I got my man. He looked like Dwayne. You know what? No different girl. When I was a little girl and I was watching, I was like, my husband's gonna look just like Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he got glasses.
Do they
He did have those. I was like, now, babe, we a little older now. You gotta take those off.
So you know what? I was just watching that movie Frozen. I'm sure everybody has seen Frozen.
I have not seen Frozen. I do not have children.
Okay, well, no, I don't have children either, but I'm an auntie. So anyway, so I was watching Frozen, and it was really interesting because Disney has taken the standpoint of the woman really having to learn to love this man that was imperfect. He no longer was this Prince Charming. We grew up, our generation saw Prince Charming. He was perfect, and he was a prince. I mean, he was rich. He gave you a kingdom and a castle, and now it's like, oh, you're going to get a guy who snores, probably, and he may not be always on time with his bills. He might,
Frozen?
But I loved about that. Hold on.
That was true love.
But what I loved about the message behind Frozen that you bring it up is that what I loved about that, and it touched me, and that movie, it was one of the first times that Disney brought me to tears, was that it was that true love was
What's true
about
love?
family.
Which
It
one
was,
was this?
I know it's a Disney. We'll get
You have to
over
watch
it.
it.
We'll
What
figure
movie?
right.
What movie? What
No, it's
movie was it?
Frozen. It's Frozen.
Oh, this is still Frozen.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But for
not the
me,
Bill
Give her
part.
a false
I'm like, y'all looked at it
You want
deep.
some coffee?
But that's right.
I watched the movie 5 times in one day on one Saturday, and I didn't get all
and you
that.
still didn't get that. You didn't watch you didn't stay long enough.
All right, ladies, we're gonna have a movie screening night for
Yes.
Every Woman after this.
You checked
I
out
did.
like 30 minutes in.